Well, thanks for popping in. I'm going to go quickly tonight, today on this webinar. We have quite a few new people to our email list and collecting a few hundreds of them now. Rather than write up our tips, I'm going to try this time to just go through them quickly. And I think they'll help you all. I think these are game changer ideas, some of them. Some of them are insights that will push you way ahead of most. And then maybe at the end you can shut it off. You don't want to hear about. I want to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing, some of our projects. The first thing I want to look at tonight is number one, how we're handling women 50 years old and above in our churches and in our society in general is making them very angry. 92% of them say that they are more than just a little upset. And they are mad at manufacturers, retailers, the government, institutions, and the church. 92%. And we are actually starting to see a little peel off from women in church from 50 and older who have always been sort of the mainstay of things, even though we've not given them a platform. They control $19 trillion in our economy, which is 2/3 of the wealth in America. So you lose them, it's going to hit you where maybe some are worried the most. What bothers me the most is these are very talented people who should have roles that are significant, and they won't unless we deliberately face this. Two, I want to talk to you about organic assimilation. You put too much work if you're out there and you have an evangelist assimilation process. Very few people actually go to your booths and all that, and then you got people calling them and doing all this stuff, which is all good. Any touch is good. Let me give you a simple way. When we had 300 people in my church, I called 120 of them together, and for a couple Saturdays, I trained them spiritually how to spot a lonely person, a broken person who needed healed, a confused person, and I had them keep a little notepad, take their name and all of that. And I told them to be led of the Holy Spirit. And they did. And we began growing like 100% a year. And we were cared for. I did that for years, though the number continued to grow. I said that we're not wearing tags. You're not called assimilation team. In fact, I just referred to them as the spies. We just touched people. It was organic. We didn't work hard. It was easy. People wanted to actually do the real stuff. So I encourage you to think of that. Three, let's talk about the Bernie Sanders factor. Bernie is cleaning house with millennials, which is confirming what I've said all along. I don't think it's just his socialism. Boomers want to follow an authentic, let's face it, he is, honest baby boomer who doesn't try to be one of them. All of my experience, though I don't see it much in research, is that boomers, millennials, unlike busters, the research says they admire their grandparents and they want to be influenced by them. And frankly, our old status about youth is a myth. We still try to do the teenage stuff, and I know it pulls it off because you see what you expect to see usually, but let me tell you, there's a great relationship that could be made in the church, and a case for boomers mentoring people in their 20s and the church trying to help stimulate that. I'm doing that deliberately. But we also need to make sure we don't lose our baby boomer leaders in that kind of mentoring capacity. Don't shove them off into young couples groups and youth groups. Try to teach your leaders to start mentoring some of them. That's how I develop ministers. So consider that, because the Barry Sanders factor is proving what I've been saying all along, that there's a great opportunity to develop a legacy behind us. Next, I want to talk to you about opiate addiction in our nation. Right now, we have 5% of the world population. I want to say this real slow so you get it. Yet we have 85% of the heroin and opioid addicted people. Now think about that just for a moment. When you get a number like that, there are macro issues, not just individuals with drug problems. Our punitive criminal approach to drug use has made the problem worse. People haven't gotten help, and we've made them feel like criminals, so we've gotten more criminals. It was stupid. Still today, we still have that going. Do I have a solution? Yes, but we don't have time to do that now. The other macro reality behind that is our American culture, unlike cultures in the world anywhere, fears pain. We have pleasure as our God, but our pleasure is different. Our pleasure is to avoid pain or to cover up pain. We need to embrace pain. And the church is feeding this addiction. Trust me. I like Joel Osteen. I like what he's doing, but basically think about it. He's promising you a life without pain, which is impossible. And it feeds this addiction for a need to not have pain. You know, watch TV. Everybody gets favor. You know, hey, we need to get back to what my pastor Larry Titus taught us is discipline. The Bible talks about a disciplined life. John Wesley talked about a disciplined life, embracing pain because you're going to have it. Paul talked about this constantly. In the early church, when you received Christ, they said, whoa, life's going to get dicey for you now because you have the lordship of Christ. So it's going to be a mixture. Also, consequences. We don't teach our people consequences. We don't teach them that there's definite feedback that God is probably going to even overcome. We don't teach preparation. We don't teach our kids for preparing in the future. We've got John Hagee out there telling us that in 2 weeks we're going to be gone. No, we aren't going to be. And we're all feeding it to this addicted culture, avoidance of pain. I'm going to do a whole book or series on pleasure sometime. Finally, I want to talk to you about the reality of the fact that we are too slow about putting leaders ahead. Put them out there early, train them as you go. John Wesley said it this way: no one becomes a leader without being a leader. Okay, I'm going to end here, okay? And we'll come back with something else later. But the Mirror Group's got a new Proxix season. The Mirror Group's about two things: evangelism and innovation. We can help you do both very, very well. We're expanding our Proxix program. We've reduced it to 6 months. And we're expanding our coaching staff too. So God bless you. I hope you enjoyed this. Watch for stuff about some of the products we're putting out. God bless you.